Welcome back to our new series on leveling up your worship guitar skills. Now, if you followed along with the journey so far, you would already discovered a simple triad tweak that can lead to some really awesome sounding voicings on the guitar, together with some vibey rhythm techniques. And of course, we also looked at the art of combining both rhythm and lead. Now, the links to the first two lessons in this series, you'll find them in the description if you want to go ahead and check them out. Now, today we're going to push our boundaries a little further. And one trap that many guitarists fall into is they kind of get anchored to one part of the neck and really missing out on the vast tonal spectrum that the guitar has on offer. But just imagine if you can harness all those techniques we've looked at before and then also feel comfortable applying them to all the different zones on your guitar neck. Well, that's exactly the goal of today's video. We're going to be diving into a new area on the fretboard so that you can discover how to freely and fluidly express your creative ideas anywhere on the neck without having to stay stuck in one box. So stay tuned and let's unlock a whole new world of tonal possibilities across the guitar neck. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play the part for you right now, and then afterwards we'll break it down note for note. This is part of our series and looking at how we can come up with composing guitar parts, looking at how you might change basic triad voicings, what kind of picking patterns you can use, and also how you can combine rhythm and lead. So I've done a couple of things in this example. So what I'm going to do right now is quickly show you how all these parts are put together, the voicings, the notes, the rhythms, and the techniques. So this is a 1-4-6-5 progression in the key of G. So I've got D, 1-4, which is G, 6 is B minor, 5 is A. But instead of playing the chords like I've just done, what I used was these tweaked triads. So what is a tweaked triad? Well, I can play D like this, G, B minor, and A. And those will sound kind of cool, but if you want to tweak them a little bit, instead of playing D like this, I can take that note down 2 notes, then it gives me D sus9. Instead of playing D, G like this, I can take the B down 2 frets to A, which then gives me G sus9. And instead of playing B minor like this, I can take the B down to A, giving me a B minor 7, which looks just like a D major triad, by the way. And then instead of playing A like this, I can take the C sharp up a note, which then looks like a D sus9. So as you can see, some interesting chords for the D, D sus9, for the G, G sus9, for the B minor, B minor 7. For the A sus4. So those are my voicings. If you want to learn how to play these transformed triads, to take plain vanilla triads and then come up with a whole host of different and interesting sounding voicings that can add some personality to your playing. So you don't just use plain vanilla chords, you actually have something that, you know, has a different ring to it. There's a video in the description where I go through the exact process that you can go ahead and come up with these parts on your own using these transformed triads. Now my rhythm was quite simple and I kept it very open. Just let it ring. So my strings that I picked was 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Just let it ring. Let it ring. Let it ring. And let it ring. So that was my first part that I played right there, just to kind of establish the harmony, which is 1, 4, 6, 5, using these interesting triads. Now, sometimes you want to combine rhythm and lead together where you want to, you know, use both of those options available to you. And for most guitarists playing electric guitar in worship teams, it's definitely the exception to the rule to be in a situation where you have a Bethel or an Elevation or a Hillsong where there's at least 2 electric guitars on stage. For the most part, it's 1 electric guitar player on a Sunday. So how do you choose between rhythm and lead? Well, sometimes you don't actually have to choose and you can combine them, which is what I did in this second example. So I played D sus9. With a cool fill like that. Then G sus9. B minor 7. And A sus4. So those fills, they sound really nice for a couple of reasons. It uses both chord tones and non-chord tones, so you get notes that sound like it perfectly fit the chord, and the non-chord tones give a bit of tension and flavor that you then go ahead and resolve. And then also the rhythmic pattern is really solid, making those melodic notes sound like it just really fits with the track. So you really know what the voicings are. D sus9, G sus9, B minor 7, A sus4. On their own, they might sound different, but obviously in the track you heard what they sound like. Now the fills that I'm playing on the D sus9, 1 E and a 2 E and. So that's my rhythm. 1 E and a 2 E and. It's a really nice rhythmic pattern. So I'm playing fret 6, 7 on the G, followed by 7 on the D. And I'm using a pick, hammer pick. Then I go to my next chord. And I go 7, 8 on the B, 7 on the G. So it's the same idea, just over a different chord. And then for the B minor 7, I went 5, 7 on the B, 7 on the G. So now you can see my 3 fills over the D, over the G, over the B minor, and over the A. And can you see how I'm using the balance of opposites there? The first 3, I pick, I go up, I go down. I pick, I go up, I go down. I pick, I go up, I go down. I pick, I go up, I go up. So the fourth one is the variation over there. So those notes are really cool if you want to get some flavor into your playing. So I've got the chords. So that's how you can combine rhythm and lead. The goal here is you don't want to play the chord and then go for some kind of a scale shape that you're just going to try and wing it. You don't want to do that because if you don't use the right combination of chord tones and non-chord tones, it might not give you the desired outcome there, number one. And number two, if you just play whatever rhythm, you're also probably not really going to come up with something that's going to work for that example. So what I've done here is I've got curated and carefully crafted options here that actually fits my chord. So what I'm going to do now is I'll play it one more time for you with the example, and then the second time I am going to only focus on the lead notes that I've just shown you, and then I'm going to improvise something with that. So the lesson there is once you've gotten notes that work, then you can start experimenting with your rhythm and your phrasing, which is what I'm going to show you right now. And by the way, if you want to get the tabs and the tracks of this particular lesson, so you can practice it on your own, print it out, see exactly what I played, just go ahead and check out the link in the description. So let's go ahead now, play the chords plus the fills once, and the second time I'm going to just improvise with those single notes only.
Intro.
Here we go.
2, 3, 4.
So hopefully you're getting quite a lot out of this in terms of how you can combine chords together with single notes. And basically what I did the second time is once I found the notes that worked, which was basically just that combination of the 4 different chords with 3 notes per chord, then I was able to take this rhythmic pattern, for example, and I was just able to improvise over the track playing that pattern. So that's basically that phrase, and then the second time around doing swells, which is exactly that, and then it's the same as this, and then same as that, and then which is the same as this. And that's a cool way in which you can go ahead and then add some lead guitar together with your voicings. Now, the other 2 things that I played in the beginning of the track, essentially it's just playing the chords and then playing the bass notes. Technically that's not lead, but it's combining chordal ideas together with single notes. It's simply just those chords that I rang out like I've shown you, and then adding in those low notes. And again, all of that is tabbed in the tabs if you want to grab them in the description. And then the final part was just like a bouncy, syncopated, palm muted idea using those same voicings. So instead of playing, letting the notes ring like that, I used this picking pattern. And it's pretty much just the exact same chords, but I'm changing my rhythm. The big lesson I would love for you to take away from this is you don't have to go and learn all these fancy voicings. I've just taken simple triads. I changed one note per triad and it gave me these cool sounds. There's a lesson to show you how to do that in the description. But then I changed the way that I'm using rhythm to really make it come to life. The one way was I either pick all the notes and then just let it ring. That was one approach. The other approach was, together with letting it ring, can you hear that repetitive rhythmic pattern? That was a repetitive rhythmic pattern that really gives life and even a bit of like weight to the individual notes that you're playing. And then finally going full out rhythmic using these voicings. Etc., to kind of give you a really driving part. So if you were to go and play these 4 parts on a Sunday over a song that uses a similar progression to that, you'll find that within the same chords, you've got variety based on your voicings, based on your rhythm, based on whether you're combining chords together with single notes, or even just using single notes in and of themselves, like I've shown you in the improvised part. So hopefully you got a lot out of this. It's certainly been fun putting these videos together. What we've done is we've put together additional videos for you, part of the series, which you can go ahead and check out right here, that will show you a little bit more around the technique about getting this single note, getting that technique dialed in. That's all covered for you in this video right here.